A security report presented to the Kaduna state government officials shows that an average of at least 9 persons were kidnapped every day in 2021 in the state. Now, 1,192 persons were also killed due to banditry and other violent crimes. And now the state governor, Nasir Elrufai, is appealing to the federal government to set up a military theater command in the state, as was done in the northeast, to end the killings. Lupe Asom has the story.
Insecurity in Kaduna State is yet to abate, despite sustained offensive campaigns by federal security agencies with support from the state government. Kaduna government officials, together with senior security operatives, gathered to deliberate on solutions to this situation. A security report for the year 2021 revealed that at least 1,192 persons were killed and several others injured due to banditry and other violent crimes. 3,348 people were kidnapped, 45 others raped, with 29 of them reportedly minors. Kaduna Central Senatorial Zone was the worst hit.
We also observed in 2021 that there's a growing interaction between bandits and terrorist groups like Boko Haram, ISWAP and Ansaru. And it has manifested recently.
The spate of insecurity in 2021 threatened education and social cohesion and led to attack on health facilities. It also brought an imminent collapse of the rural economy, and food insecurity looms. This report is a bitter pill for the governor, who has supported efforts by the federal security agencies to wipe out bandits. He is calling on the federal government to establish a military theater command in the state, just as was done in the northeast.
The creation of such a theater command will enable a holistic approach to counter-insurgent operations across the 6 affected states and the enhanced coordination of the resources of the armed forces, the Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Army and the Navy, as well as the police, the SSS, our respective state vigilance services, hunters and other local volunteers to fight these insurgents.
The officials say deliberate malicious media campaigns, selective condemnation of attacks and manipulation of faith as a tool of division has done so much harm to the state.
We are strengthening the human intelligence gathering networks in critical areas. Ground and air assault have been intensified by the military, that is the Air Force, in locations spanning Birnungwari, Igabi, Giwa, Chokun, Kajuru, and Zaria LGAs. Scores of bandits have been neutralized so far, and many camps destroyed via air interdictions. This will continue with renewed intensity following the recent designation of bandits as terrorists.
Security officials are calling on residents in the state to desist from taking up arms and laws into their hands, as it will only make matters worse. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
All right, sure. Let's get joining us right now is to talk about the issues, the security issues from Zamfara State to Kaduna State. I have joining me an intelligence consultant, a security and intelligence consultant, Adams Abu, joining me from Lokoja in Kogi State. Adams, it's good to have you join me this afternoon. Now, the point there is, we have talked about the daily reports of the security challenges we're facing across the country, especially from Zamfara State. The government and the military, they keep assuring Nigerians that they are on top of the issue and the situation. Yet, we don't seem to have some level of calm just yet. What do you make of this? Are we losing all of the strategies that we're supposed to, or losing ideas as to how to handle these issues?
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Let me say that we are not losing strategy. Neither are we losing focus in the prosecution of the war. But the truth of the matter is that if you look at the bandits, the terrorists, on a daily basis, their foot soldiers are on the increase, and supplies in terms of weaponry does not seem to be reducing as far as their supplies are concerned, and so they have the capacity to continue to ravage the country with the level of damages that we are seeing. It is not to say that our fighting forces are not doing the best they can under the circumstances, but I want to believe that some of the challenges that we have always been that the deficit that we have had over the years, deficit in terms of personnel, deficit in terms of equipment. And if you look at some of the equipment that we even recently acquired, you discover that there are conditionalities attached to their operational usage. So in some cases, we seem to have our hands tied, and the bandits, the terrorists, like I said, they have no limitation. If you even look at the international community, they even hardly condemn, the modus operandi of the terrorists. I mean, they can do anything they can. They use children as their soldiers. They use all manner of things. But if we, for any reason, try to deviate in any way, they begin to quote international law, conventions, and all the like. So it's not because the forces are not committed. These are guys for almost several years. They are not going on leave. They have not been anywhere. They are in the war front. They continue to prosecute the war. I think it's not because we lack strategy. That is where we are.
All right. You talked about the issue of conditionalities in the use of some of the weapons. Like we all know, Nigeria has sought the clearance from the United States if it comes to the use of Super Tucanos that we got about 12 of them to prosecute this war. But Nigerians have still not been able to see the impact and the results from the deployment, if at all there are deployments of some of this equipment, especially in Zamfara State.
Yeah, I think the decision the government is finding difficult to take is that there are some innocent Nigerians who find themselves in the enclaves of these bandits. Are we ready as a nation to sacrifice them? I want to believe it is no from the point of government. And so the blanket usage of those recruitments, the government felt, I am very sure, that it is too damaging to the innocent families, their relations, and so on. Enter into the forest where some people are they are hostages, and you begin to bomb the whole forest, and they get killed, and so on and so forth. I think that is the reason why we may not be seeing the kind of a general application of those equipments, against the bandits. However, I think we have to take a decision. Do we continue to allow them to expand? I read in news, was it this morning, how some of these bandits were moving from one side of Zamfara State, a large number, to another section of the state. And certainly they are not going alone. They will be going with some innocent person they want to use like shield and things like that. So we better look at which of the options are we going to see whether some people can survive and then use a general application. We may come to that level, but I think that is why government is dragging its feet.
All right. We have had several issues within Zamfara State, and Zamfara State has been on the news beyond other states in the northwest in recent times. Just following also this kidnap of ASU chairman of the Federal University of Gusau is another very recent thing happening, the news getting out this morning. What is it really about Zamfara that it has been on the news regarding the activities of banditry and kidnapping and other issues and so on? What is special? What is that central thing about Zamfara State?
I think from the security point of view, Zamfara State being a very rural area, just like most Nigerian communities, but with that large expanse of land that hitherto banditry were not manned by government agents, particularly security. You can travel before now you can travel 50-100 kilometers, you don't see any police station. So what do you talk about? So it's a free place, and when the bandits came, in addition to the economic activities that goes on, the illegal mining and so on, they had a free hand. And they moved in. Don't also forget that the foreign bandits that are also coming in find that part of the country easy to enter. And since there is an ongoing operation among their colleagues, so to say, they find it easy to settle there and operate there. You discover that they have operated even into the state capital, at least the suburbs and so on. So it is a place that they have highly overpopulated in comparison with our own security forces, and so that's why they can operate with ease, and then they have a maximum success, cause maximum damage to the citizenry in that area. And now we don't really have the capacity in terms of men and weaponry to take every community. I mean, if you look at those areas that they are ravaging, Dansandero and the rest, I mean, you discover that it is now that we have adequate security forces. And then to move into the hinterland, you also need, if you look at the way they operate, I've said this several times, even the hello?
Yes, well, the point is we're against time right now, but we really thank you, Adam Sabu, for all of your insight into the analysis on security in Zamfara State and in the North. Thank you very much.